Hi, I'm Debbie Goodman. Welcome to my show, Martial Arts Mania. I wanted to give local martial artists here in the Fresno area the opportunity to come on the show, talk about their style, and let everyone know what classes they offer. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the show. Hi, and welcome to Martial Arts Mania. I'm Debbie Goodman, your host. Today we are honored and privileged to have a movie star in our studio. Welcome, Silvio Simac.
Thank you very much. Pleasure's mine.
Well, thank you for coming. I haven't seen you since I met you last year at my birthday party.
It's been a while.
Sometimes I get these great surprise birthday gifts. So you've just come back from Atlantic City.
Correct.
And what were you doing there?
Atlantic City's annual events, Martial Arts Expo, largest one in the world that I've personally attended myself. In terms of caliber of people that attend, it's also probably one of the largest ones in the world. The likes of Cynthia Rothrock, Don Wilson, James Liu. So quite a nice cast of people that attend. So it's my third time. I've missed the last 2 years, and I've come back this year.
Well, next year I get to go, I hope.
Cool. Be nice to see you there.
Thank you, yes. In May, I'm going down to Newport Beach to cover Martial Arts Hall of Fame inductee awards ceremony.
Sure.
Maybe I'll see you there.
Maybe. Maybe. Actually, this event in Atlantic City was a combination of an expo as well as Martial Arts Awards or Hall of Fame Awards, which was a huge event. I think there was some 1,200 people seated at the dinner in the evening event, which was great. And Robert De Niro was there, which was highlight of the event.
You talking to me? Love him. He's a Leo like me.
He's great, quite a legend.
That's great. Well, you're Italian, aren't you? But Italian descent?
I am half Italian. I was born in Croatia. My mum's Italian, my dad's Croatian. I spent most of my life in UK, based in London.
So that's where the British accent comes from.
Guess so.
And how old were you when you moved to
I was
UK?
12 years old when I moved to UK.
Okay.
And I've been there ever since. Although I spent 2 years in France, in Paris, unfortunately.
Oh, that's okay.
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Do you speak French?
A little.
Okay.
I'm not fluent.
Okay, that would make it tough. All right, so tell us about some of the movies that you've been in.
I started off with Hong Kong productions. My first production was filmed in Thailand, actually, but it was Hong Kong production, Black Mask 2, which was international release, starring Tyler Mane, ex-wrestler, Rob Van Dam, Scott Adkins, and quite a few Far Eastern stars. My career kicked off from there. I came back to London. I decided this is what I wanted to do. I fell in love with the whole industry. So I enrolled into local drama classes to further my career. Ever since then, I've been very lucky and fortunate to have worked with some of the legends, really, from the martial arts world. People like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Jason Statham, Eric Roberts, Michael J. White, Scott Adkins, Rob Van Dam, numerous other people. Films like Transporter 3, Undisputed 2, Unleashed.
What movie did you work on with Eric Roberts?
Dead or Alive.
Ah, okay.
Dead or Alive is a movie based on PlayStation game, popular PlayStation game.
Okay.
It was a very, very popular game, so they had a shot at doing the film.
Great. Now, I pulled you up on IMDb the other day, and you were on a very unique list.
Was I?
The top 100 kick-ass martial arts actors that are still alive.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No, I was not aware of it at all, no.
Okay, you're going to have to pull up that list and find out where you ranked.
Okay, I will do.
Okay. So what are some of your personal favorite martial arts movies to watch? Maybe you weren't in them, but just to watch.
I think the whole martial arts movie genre kind of kicked off with a slightly cheesy era, 1980s and early 90s. And some of those movies I think I was most influenced by
Okay.
Although I have to say some of the earliest ones I remember watching were definitely Bruce Lee movies. Movies like Game of Death, Enter the Dragon. But some of the movies when I was going through my teens were probably most influential on my on me wanted to get into movies myself. Movies like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Jean-Claude Van Damme films, Steven Seagal. But there wasn't one in particular. I think it's got to be a combination of various movies that influenced me and affected me as an actor as well as a martial artist.
Okay. And what style of martial arts have you studied?
I started off with Taekwondo. Once I got my black belt in Taekwondo, my hunger to learn and develop and further myself as a martial artist just became greater. So I diversified into other systems: kickboxing, karate, combat self-defense, Choi Kwang Do. I've got black belts in 5 different systems, 5 different disciplines, but I have cross-trained in different art forms.
Okay. Yeah, I started off in Shotokan, and I eventually ended up in Kung Fu. So that's kind of a, well, far cry. Do you have a particular favorite, one that you would always go back to if they said you can only do one?
Wow, I think having started Taekwondo first, that definitely had the biggest influence on me and gave me very, very strong foundation. But over the years, I've realized the benefits of other systems themselves. And I think to some extent, martial arts which are competitive can have detrimental effect on the body, especially if you push yourself beyond certain limits. And having competed for 11 years internationally for Great Britain, it does have a toll on the body, and it can be damaging long term. So therefore, for that reason, I wouldn't say any particular system of martial arts is for life. So it's really good to cross-train in different systems. As you age, it's good to cross borders into different systems and learn other disciplines, which are probably softer. And I think over the years I've realized that I cannot afford to do things I used to do when I was younger, because I would like to practice martial arts in 15, 20 years.
Absolutely.
So health and safety has to come first and foremost on top of the list. As a competitor, that wasn't the issue. I wanted to be the best that I can be.
Right.
And I wanted to conquer my competitors, so I pushed myself beyond limit. But I think that's the same case with most professional sports. You push yourself to such an extent that your body can only take so much. So there are benefits of all different systems. I wouldn't necessarily say one is the best one. So it's good to cross-train between different systems, but you have to find it for yourself which one suits you best.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I have gotten back into Tai Chi. And actually, my Tai Chi instructor is also a Taekwondo instructor, Sean Lee. He has Pinnacle Martial Arts here in Fresno. I've gone back to my instructor, John Cho, in Kung Fu, but I have found that I can't quite get into those some of those positions like I used to, like a deep dragon stance or something, or spinning tornado kick. It's a little more difficult now, so I understand.
It is, although I have to say I still practice those hard movements, and in particular Taekwondo movements. Taekwondo is very spectacular to watch to a human eye, and I think those spectacular movements that I've learned from Taekwondo translate very well on the screen.
On film, yes.
Because people want to be impressed. Although I have been quite intrigued and interested to make a crossover and experience some Tai Chi. I've heard and I've seen some phenomenal performances by Tai Chi masters and grandmasters. But for the purpose of theatrical look in TV and film, I have to practice Taekwondo still, because it's very spectacular. So I have to keep up my stretching and my flexibility, as well as agility and speed and power, which is very impressive on TV screen.
Absolutely.
So I still do that.
And what sort of diet do you follow?
Wow. I've always been quite into my diet and nutrition ever since I was a kid, even before I started martial arts. For some reason, I was just very interested in diet, in developing myself physically. And I think one of the biggest influences, undoubtedly, growing up in the 70s was Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee appeared in phenomenal shape, in particular for that time. He was in phenomenal condition. My diet is very strict. It's very healthy. I watch what I eat when I eat it. I tend to go for high protein, low carbohydrate diet most of the time. I train 5 days a week, twice a day.
Wow.
So it's one of those very strict regimes and routines, which once again, what I said, Taekwondo has really served me very well in instilling that discipline that I can carry on through myself, because it is very disciplined martial art.
Mm-hmm. Well, your diet may be a little different over in the UK than it would be, say, if you lived here in California. They're big meat eaters, aren't they, in Great Britain?
I wouldn't necessarily say they're big meat eaters. I personally tend to go for meat and fish, tend to place emphasis on high protein diet.
Mm-hmm.
But if you, for instance, if you observe and watch some of the other species of animals like tigers and lions, their diet is predominantly meat and protein. And if you look at their structure and their physique, they're very strong, very lean, very low body fat.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare those animals to animals like sheep and elephants, which graze all day long on carbohydrates and vegetables, they tend to be a lot weaker and also heavier.
This is true.
Believe it or not, elephants are weaker than human beings pound for pound.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to kind of follow a caveman diet, very high in protein, low in carbohydrates, which is doesn't always leave me feeling great, because I'm lacking the energy because of my very intense training regime.
Well, if it weren't for you being mic'd up, I'd have you rip your shirt off and show everybody. We've got a picture in the background of you with your shirt off. Looks great.
Thank you.
Do you mind mentioning your age?
39.
39.
Correct.
All right. So this year we're going to have the big, I hope
big party this year.
All right. I hope it's in Los Angeles and I can come.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully.
Okay. Well, maybe we could show some clips of some of your films.
Why not?
All right. Sounds good. Well, I have really enjoyed having you on the show.
It's been my pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
It's been a privilege.
Thank you.
So glad to have you back, and I do hope that you're able to stay and work here in the United States.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Crank out some more of those great movies, which some of them I'm going to have to catch up on Netflix or something.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks
Pleasure.
again.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show.